Welcome back to yet another amazing week of the Ditch Chronicles, where I am your host, Evangelist Chutney Hart, and we are so excited to have you here. I'm excited because another school year has ended and my mugshot is not plastered over the internet. That is a wonderful thing. I survived another year in education. I am 1 year closer to retiring. I hope so anyway. Every August, I print out the paper and the time never changes. Like, I gain a year, but how many credits I need and how soon I can retire, that's not going to change. But every August, I feel obligated to go on the retirement website to remind myself as motivation that it's not that much longer now, sis, if you can hang in there. To anybody that's looking to go into education, the best piece of advice I can give you is you just have to know what grade level works for you. If you're at the wrong grade level, it is a nightmare that you cannot wake up from, no matter how hard you try. Nobody told me that. I could have started teaching probably about 7 years sooner, but I started at the wrong grade level. I tried to go to like third grade because who can't handle third graders? They terrorized me. They ran me away from teaching, and I did not look back for 7 or 8 years. And I got my nerve up, and when I came back, I came back to high school, and I found my place. I found my niche, if you will. And I've been at it for now. I just completed my 15th year, so yay. Today I want to talk about something, speaking of education, called input and output. If I'm not mistaken, that's programming language. You know how we are. You get mad at your cell phone because you can't get into something. But the truth of the matter is, it's not the phone's fault, it's your fault, right? Because they have a very specific language, and cell phones don't change passwords on their own. We don't put the right password in. So whenever we're trying to access our device and we can't get in, there is an issue with whatever we're doing. And it's often called input and output. So with input, it's the data that you send to the system, while output is the data that comes from the system. So if you go to Google and type in Ditch Chronicles podcast for YouTube, it is going to take you to a very specific place where you will find us. But if you type in, I don't know, the ditch, and that's all you type, you may not arrive at our page. Okay, so every device, every electronic device, every refrigerator, every stove, everything that we own, whatever we put in, then it gives us a desired output. In the Bible, Galatians 6 and 7, he said, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." In verse 8, he said, "For he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting." Doesn't that sound like input and output? Whatever you're willing to put into the system, that is what you're going to get out of the system. It is a very unrealistic expectation to go outside looking for apples and you never planted an apple tree. It's not gonna happen. It's impossible. Even in science, we teach the children matter or energy is not created nor destroyed. Energy gets transferred from one form to another form. So you just can't abracadabra anything. You have to have a start. You have to have something. The seed has to go into the ground in order for the harvest to be produced. So in our lives, with our input and our output, if you don't like the output, go check. Go check your input. Excuse me. Check to see what did you put in the ground. Check to see what is it that you've been sowing. Check to see, did you ever put what you're looking for in, because you'll never be able to get it out. It works in the natural and it works in the spirit, because God will never go against anything he created, no matter what it is. And so we just have to be mindful of our input-output systems. You might say, it seems like I'm always attracted to the same type. Probably because you are. Input, output. Check your input. If you're always the psychotic man or woman in that relationship, you're going to keep getting the same output. So you have to go work on you. You have to build you. You have to learn how to love you before somebody else is going to come along and do it for you. And it applies to everything in our life. And we just have to take that moment, take those few seconds to take that step back and look at our lives to see and make that adjustment. Input and output. No magic, no abracadabra. I tell people all the time, Jesus do miracles, but he is not a magician, baby. That ain't Bible. So we just have to be mindful of what we're doing. And if we don't like what we're getting, just go back and check it. And then once you see what you need to do, make the necessary adjustments and change your input. And once you do that, then I can just about guarantee you that your output is going to change accordingly. I am pleased to announce that Micah still lives at the house. We haven't been successful in moving him out of the house until it is time for him to go to college. But several weeks back, he pushed me to a Facebook post in which I was looking for him a new home. But just so you know, we survived. I talk to him now, and I managed to talk to him without yelling at him. So we're doing wonderfully. So I really am excited. So today my shout out is to my baby. I'm excited for him for the opportunity that he has earned to be able to go play football, at the college level. He'll be attending the University of Arkansas at Monticello. And I am excited for him. It's not something that you take for granted with this whole new system and the transfer portal. For my people who understand sports, it is not easy for high school young men or women to get into sports because of this portal, because all of the college coaches want people with experience. And if I was a coach, I would too. But I am excited for my child. So today, he's gonna get my shout out. He gets the praise today. And I hope he allows God to be great in his life. And I hope he remembers all of the teachings that he has been taught down through the years. And I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that success is going to be his portion. I want you to be encouraged today. I want you to check your input if you don't like your output. And remember, there is safety just beyond the ditch.